Hello, this is Seth Wenning, and welcome to another Orange 250 Year Celebration video. Today, Gary Hamel has got a history lesson on the town of Orange. In the middle of his presentation, he burst out into song, leading the concert goers in a few verses of Watch and Pray. Now, I have a bone of contention to pick. Gary says that he doesn't have a good singing voice. I have concrete evidence that this is not true. He has a great singing voice, and we have to help him bolster his confidence so he can sing more, because he has a great voice. Get ready for a history lesson and a couple verses of Watch and Pray.
What key was that? G. It was backwards, man.
So around 1850, the Free Will Baptists took over the meeting house, and they signed a dedication. What, did that sound odd? Oh.
No, he was moving.
Oh. I didn't mean for them to, sort of invade or crawl in. They rededicated the church, and on the wall behind the altar, they wrote the words, "Watch and Pray." Where did that come from, right? There are a couple photographs over here where you can see the church. We placed the pew here in front of this photograph, so you might make a connection that this is one of the pews from the church. And there you see on the wall, the words "Watch and Pray." Well, it comes from an old hymn. And I am not a singer. I have known these guys who are performing here my entire life. I have known Dale since 4th grade. We used to draw pictures of Charlie Brown. And in 5th grade, we were in a play that Bonnie North wrote. Do you remember? You played Charlie Brown and I played Lioness.
For some reason, I have a complete block of that.
But I am not a singer. I have been in awe of these folks my entire life, and envious, and so appreciative of their musical talents. But I'm going to try to lead you, if you will help me, through the first little bit of this song, so we can figure out where the words "watch and pray" come from. So I'm going to sing a line. This is sort of a call and response. I'm going to sing a line. You echo what I've just sung, and then I'm going to sing it one more time. You don't say anything after that. I will, if I can remember the words, I will sing the next line. You echo that. I'll sing it again. You echo it again. We're going to do it 3 times, okay? And then we're going to come to sort of a refrain. And we're going to end after the refrain, because we'll figure out then where the words "watch and pray" have come from. This is actually an old hymn, but in the 60s, it became a very popular hit for the Edwin Hawkins Singers. Aretha Franklin and Mavis Staples also did a great job with it, as did Brother Ray Charles. And it sort of goes like this. Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
When Jesus walked. When Jesus walked. When Jesus walked. My sins away.
My happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy day.
And then we come to the next part, which I've suddenly just forgotten. He taught me how to watch and pray. So we'll end here.
Not bad.
So, because of those of us who are not so gifted in singing, something happened. And let me just start by reading a little portion of a letter. And it's going to mention singing school. And then I'll give you a little bit more information about that. And if we were really fortunate as a town, we might have a music teacher who might lead us. There were 60 letters dating from 1850 into the early 1900s. They were all sort of bundled up and tucked into the rafters of an attic in town. 3 generations within one family lived in this house during that time, beginning with a family whose last name was Hobart. And so we have called these letters the Hobart letters, and I'm going to be reading from Hobart letter number 3. It is from Amos Brewster French, who was born in the East neighborhood, so that's on Burnt Hill Road. Born and grew up there, and at the age of 19, he left Orange to go live in the city, as many young people did at that point, to try to make their fortune, because farming was a really difficult way of life. This is a letter dated March 11th, 1851, and it is to his friend Byron Hobart, who was a year younger, still in school, here somewhere, and Amos is maybe inquiring whether he might join, whether Byron might join Amos in the city. Friend Byron, there is as much snow here now as we have had this winter, but it is warm and it is leaving fast. We have had some pretty cold weather, but nothing to what I have seen in New Hampshire. I suppose you went to town meeting. I should like to know whether that French boy that was there peddling apples last year was there, for he has always been there when I happen to be there. He's, of course, talking about himself. Well, never mind. I should like to have been there. I suppose you have had a good time this winter going to singing school. I should like to have been there too. But this talk, well, isn't this embarrassing?
Sit on the back.
No. But this talk I will stop and shall, for I plan to come to Orange sometime. Then we can talk things over to our liking. This I will say, give my love to all the virgins. Do you want me to do that one again? This I will say, give my love to all the virgins. I wish you to write and tell me all the news. Brewster. So singing school originated around 1720 as an attempt by a group of New England clergymen to stamp out the horrid medley of confused and disorderly noises that passed for Sunday worship music making. Conducted by an itinerant singing master who might shoe horses or sell household wares on the side. And they met in taverns and public meeting halls. It served as both an uplifting educational experience and as an acceptable social gathering place, for young people. The earliest singing masters relied on English compilations for their songs. But by the time of the Revolutionary War, a new generation of composers, centered chiefly around Connecticut and Massachusetts, were developing a native musical language. So we know that singing schools did happen at the meeting house up there. And from the Canaan Reporter, May 9th, 1879, we find this little blurb. Professor Ellis, who was here last fall, will come here the last week in May and hold a singing school. We should be glad for an expression of the wishes of singers regarding his doing so. Professor Ellis, would you lead us in a song? Would you teach us how to sing? Would you welcome Dave Wilson, who happens to be the music director at Mascoma.
Thank you for visiting me. If you'd like to get involved with any more of the Orange 250-year town celebration, and the link is on the screen or in the end card or the comments below. Thank you for visiting me, and click like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And have a great day.